Let's be this is Jen Fremont. Just did one about poem that I wrote there. I'm still not happy. I got this new pad and I'm not happy with the way the camera works here. It's not intuitively obvious to the casual observer how to use it because it's you press the button and it does and it's not what it was before. But anyway, I'm going to take a stab at a new little video here. In my last video, I talked about freeing your mind on the computer and stuff like that. I've been working a lot on that, and I got a Linux computer up and running here, and I'm trying to figure out how to also post stuff on other sites for video and things like that. I know YouTube is where most everybody goes, but I'd like to have some other avenues that I can talk on also. And I've been thinking a lot about like Amazon. I've bought many things through Amazon over the years. Many of the books on magic and witchcraft and conspiracy theory and all kinds of stuff like that. And I don't like the way they know a lot about me. They know an awful lot about me of what I have bought over the years. And I've watched a few videos on how they're not the best company to work for, especially if you're fulfilling orders and stuff like that. They're not really that much profit driven. I find that kind of disturbing too, because it's more about they want control. They want control of everything. Absolute dominance on everything. Some of the things I've watched too is like how if you sell through them, they will poach your products. Basically, if you have something that sells well, they'll undercut your price and eventually cut you out. And I see that as just just a type of control. It's not about the money. Because they could, without having to put their resources in it to stock the item and ship the item and all that sort of stuff, and add to their own overhead, they could sit back and let the seller sell that and take their 20% and not have to invest in any overhead for that. Whereas if they even undercut that seller, they've got overhead and everything else, they're probably not making more than 20% on that item. And so that right there shows me how much it's just, it's about control. And I've been watching a lot of stuff. I found this channel called Sea and Arsenal. And they're doing a series on the weapons of World War I. And what I find fascinating is how many wars there were in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East between, say, 1860 and 1910 that we never hear about, And nowadays, from what I understand, they don't even talk about World War I or II or the Civil War or anything else in school. I don't know what the fuck they teach people in school. They teach them to be nice little communists is what they do. But it gives you a whole different perspective on what led up to World War One and World War Two. It gives you a lot of context. There's another channel I haven't gotten to check out yet that is the CN Arsenal. Is also doing their stuff in conjunction with another channel called The Great War, and I want to check them out now that I've binge watched most of what CN Arsenal's got to offer. So I'm looking for a new channel now, and I'll probably go over to the Great War channel and watch some more on that. But yeah, we don't get a lot of that history. We don't in the United States here. We don't really know about the conflicts that happened in the rest of the world. We don't know, like, a lot of the stuff that happened in Asia, we don't know about. The Japanese and the Koreans have been going at it forever. And the Japanese and the Russians, they had a war that I don't really know the details of, but that's something else that I never knew about. And yeah, the Japanese were involved in quite a few conflicts in that that same time frame. And I don't know the details of it yet, but it does kind of shed a little bit of light on why they were the way they were in World War II. And I've looked into quite a few things about World War II too, and I have no doubt that a lot of Jews were killed, but what we are fed as a narrative, it doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of material out there, and people say, "Oh my God, you're a Holocaust denier because you don't agree with the 6 million." Well, if you go into, there's a lot of people that show that 6 million is a number that has been used for like 200 years before that for various purposes. And it's a symbolic number, and I don't really remember what the symbology is, but it is a symbolic number, and that's why they cling to it so much. And I don't know that we'll ever get the true story, but what I see is that in my own mind, I can let go of that all that programming that says that, oh my God, the Nazis were absolute evil, and it's also something that they use against people because they will call them a Nazi because that's the people that they can say were the worst people of all, and so you can call somebody a Nazi without any sort of retribution because of course you're just yeah, you're demeaning Nazis, so what? And I don't know that that's right. I don't know that that's wrong. But what I do know is that what we have been fed for all this time is there's a lot of holes in it. And I invite you to go out and take a look at that. There's quite a few people that are sitting in prison cells today because they decided to talk about this sort of stuff. They decided to show the evidence and put things out. And it's something that I don't really talk about on this channel because I don't have all the stuff to really relate it properly or anything like that. But it's an example of freeing your mind from what is the usual agenda that controls everybody. And if you can suspend your belief for a little bit and just go look at some of this stuff, that it doesn't mean you have to believe it. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with it. But it opens your mind to a lot of different things. And just because you hear something that you think, oh no, that couldn't possibly be true, but that also takes you down other paths that maybe you wouldn't go down before, because you think, okay, they're saying this about this. I don't believe that, but I'm going to go check this other thing out. And that's what freedom of speech and just being free to exchange ideas does. And I see that being very much eroded on the internet today. A few weeks ago, they shut down Alex Jones, and he was one of the people that I listened to 25 years ago when I started my journey of waking up here. Or they call it being woke now. I guess I'm woke. Yeah, I got woke up a long time ago. And yeah, a couple of people I have known tried to go back to sleep, and they did not sleep very well. And you can't go back to sleep after you've seen enough. So I don't know. This will probably get flagged as anti-Semitic hate speech or something like that. But if it does, and they take down my channel, well, what the fuck? At least I said what I said something that I know about. and I tried my best to lead people to go and question everything. Just question everything. That's what I try to do. So this is Jen Fremont. Blessed be y'all.